Hello everybody and welcome back. This is going to be another one of those short Corona lockdown videos. About 2 years ago I made a short video about making a really cheap smoke machine or fogger, and over the past couple of weeks I've expanded on that and I've improved it a lot. This here's a 3D printed case with a battery holder. There's a small fan in there, and this here is the fogger unit, which is basically just a wick material from fiberglass and some 0.4 millimeter nichrome wire. Oh no, it's 0.2 millimeter nichrome wire. Just wrapped around it, and for a 7.2 volt racing battery, a nickel metal hydride battery, I'm using 12 centimeters of nichrome wire, and I have 2 coils with 2 wicks, and under the wick is nothing but some cotton, so I can just pour some fog fluid in there, and it's just kept in there and it can't come out. And this thing is super effective. I didn't think it would be, because the first machine was okay, but the downside was because I was using cotton for the wick, it started smelling really bad. And with the fiberglass wick, which is rather expensive, you can get it like a whole roll of it, and then it's pretty cheap. But if you only want to get like a meter or 2 feet or something, it becomes extremely expensive. But it works really well. Now, if I turn this on, there's nothing but a switch in there which puts the 7.2 volts onto the little fan motor and the 2 coils here. And if I turn that on, I get instant smoke. And it is super effective. It's basically like one of those vape cigarettes. Only the vape cigarettes are even more effective, because basically the fog that they generate, or the vapor, they dump it into a venturi chamber, and because it goes through the venturi chamber, the temperature is basically immediately lowered, and the fog just becomes a lot thicker. The fog fluid itself is just water and glycerin, and you can basically make it yourself if you want to. And once it gets heated up, the water evaporates, and with every bit of evaporated water, a glycerin molecule attaches it to the vapor, and since this molecule is so much bigger than the water vapor, it just becomes so much more visible. So I'm going to close this up now, and it just gets squished together. Like I said, it's really simple. What I wanted to do is I wanted to have a kind of venturi chamber in here, so I formed this, but for those of you who know something about venturi chambers, this is not one, so this went completely wrong, but it still kind of works. But it's not a venturi chamber, so this is probably not as effective as it could be. And usually this would be held together with a few M4 screws, but we're gonna make do with some cable ties now, because it's just so much simpler. And here we go. there we have it, the super small smoke machine. And if I turn it on now, sometimes you have to give the little fan a push, because it's a 12-volt fan. I wanted to have a 5-volt fan in there with a resistor, but I just couldn't find any. And yeah, as you can see, this thing is super effective. And because I'm using the fiberglass wick material, the fog doesn't really smell at all. It was really bad when I was using the cotton as a wick material. That didn't really work out at all. And yeah, as you can see, loads of fog, and the battery holds up for quite a long time. It's like almost, I don't know, 45 to 50 minutes with the 4.5 amp hour battery that I've got here. And it's a pretty light fog. It's almost like one of those small hazers. It spreads really well, and it just takes up a lot of room in a short time. And if I keep going for a few more minutes, it's probably gonna set off the smoke alarm here. So I'm gonna stop it now. So yeah, that is basically it. It's just some nichrome wire, some fiberglass wick material, and a power source. That's all you need to make your own little fog machine. It's really as simple as that. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.